I now invite the Honourable Prime Minister to present the welcome address.
Your Excellency, Madam Speaker, Honourable Members of Parliament, Your Excellency, Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of the Republic of India, honoured guests. It is my great honour to welcome His Excellency, Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Fiji, and most particularly to this august House. India is the world's largest democracy, a nation of 1.2 billion people. It is a very diverse nation that has faced and overcome many challenges, political, economic, ethnic, and religious. But it has never wavered in its embrace of democracy since the stroke of midnight on August 15, 1947, the day it gained its independence. Other nations have struggled to define themselves, Fiji among them. Some turned to long-term dictatorship governed by corrupt oligarchies. Others experimented with Marxism and other forms of single-party rule. When many in the developed world openly wondered whether the developing world was prepared for democracy, India proved that a developing country could not only be democratic, but could do so without selling its soul to any bloc. India seized its identity and declared to the world, we are a democracy, we are a great nation, and we alone will determine our future. India is now a rising power in the world, and we are pleased, Your Excellency, that you have included Fiji in this Pacific trip. Of course, Fiji has long-standing ties to India, and many Fijians can trace their ancestry to India, or more accurately, British India it was then. These Fijians have played a major part in Fiji's development, and they make vital contributions today to business, to government, to education, farming, the arts, and other areas. But there is more. Fiji and Fijians are playing an increasingly important role in this region, and we are proud to contribute international efforts in peacekeeping, development, and environmental protection in ways that far exceed expectations for a small nation. We are reaching out to parts of the world that seemed very distant only a few years ago. We are aggressively seeking partners in trade, in investment, development, military cooperation, health services, and scientific and cultural exchange. We have expertise to offer as well in tourism development, government reform, sustainability, and other areas, and we believe India will be a stronger partner. Your Excellency, today you join us in our newly reopened and reinvigorated Parliament. It is fitting that the leader of the world's greatest democracy should be the first world leader to address the elected representatives of the Fijian people. This Parliament represents a new beginning. It is based on the principle that every citizen of Fiji is equal before the law, that every citizen has an equal voice and equal representation in Parliament, and no citizen should be denied the right to contribute his or her energy to ideas to help build a better Fiji. There was a time when this Parliament was based on communalism, that is, members of the Parliament represented communities, not the people directly. This served to divide the Fijian people and reinforce their communalism rather than unite them. One of the beauties of true democracy is that it encourages people to cross communal boundaries and seek common ground for the greater good. Fijians are now better able to do that, just as Indians and so many other peoples have. That is not to say that we won't have disagreements in our Parliament. That is in the nature of society and government. But while elections are all about differences, government after elections should be about finding ways to work for the common good. We see evidence of that today. Unfortunately, the opposition has chosen to boycott this session to protest what they mistakenly believe was an attempt to to exclude them from these meetings by boycotting this session. Nothing could be further from the truth. I apologize to you, Prime Minister Modi, on behalf of the people of Fiji, for this inexcusable behavior, which does not have anything to do with the relation between our two countries. It only shows that some of us have lessons to learn about democracy, about statecraft, and nationhood. Indeed, democracy is not just a formality, a matter of elections and votes. Democracy is a living thing that changes to meet the needs of the people and the demands of modernity. It includes not just political rights, but also economic and social rights. The right to medical care and healthy environment, the right to work, the right to be equal in marriage and free of domestic violence, the right to housing, clean water, and other basic amenities of modern life. Democracy is also based on the belief that ordinary people are capable of doing extraordinary things. Perhaps that is what makes it the world's best system, because it harnesses the energy and intellect and drive of its people like no other. India has proven that. Today, the world owes a great debt to Indian scientists, Indian doctors, Indian engineers, writers, filmmakers, entrepreneurs, and social scientists. There is barely a hospital, a university, or technology firm of any consequence in the world that has not benefited greatly from the contributions of people from India and their children and grandchildren. They bring a strong work ethic, a thirst for learning, an optimistic and adventurous spirit, and a creative mindset. I believe they embody the best of the culture of India and the culture of democracy. Your own history, Mr. Prime Minister, is an example of what intelligence, drive, discipline, and hard work can produce. You were not born to a ruling class. Your parents were grocers in the Gandhi community, and by the traditions of India and the class structure at that time, no one would have expected you to be the leader of the nation today. In fact, most would have considered it a fantasy. Yet here you are. It was through the hard work you learned from your parents, and the discipline you learned from your teachers, and the talent and skills that you yourself developed, that you became the leader of 1.2 billion people. That is an inspiration. It is also a testament to the possibilities for change in this world. And it is a lesson: success breeds success, and everyone who rises up from humble beginnings inspires others. If we establish an environment that makes that possible, then there is no limit to what we can accomplish. Your Excellency, the world is changing. It is no longer a bipolar world defined by superpower rivalries. It is no longer a world dominated by a few industrialized nations. It is a world in which new powers are rising, in which advances in information technology and transportation have ended the isolation of smaller nations. Today, Fiji is proud to have helped your country monitor your historic Mars orbiter mission when it was launched on 5th November last year. India is the first Asian nation to launch an interplanetary mission. You reached Mars on your first attempt, and the Indian Space Research Organization is the 4th space agency to reach Mars. This is no mean feat by any standard. Fiji stands ready to assist you in future missions. Space exploration was the exclusive domain of just 2 nations not very long ago. The memories are very fresh for me. Your Excellency, as I'm sure they are for you. We were in awe of the nations who could send men to the moon and satellites into deep space. Today, space travel still amazes, but it is no longer a distant exploit by nations halfway around the world. We are proud that we offer not only our geography, but our infrastructure and our intellectual capital as contributions to India's space program. Your Excellency, the entire developing world shares in these achievements, and not just out of some sense of solidarity. The developing world shares in the achievements because they are concrete evidence of what we can achieve if we provide an environment that unleashes the energy and ingenuity of our people. If we embrace equality with all the strength that is in us, we invest in good governance, education, health, and social welfare. Your Excellency, I believe India and Fiji have much to be gained from each other. Your visit opens a new era of cooperation and exchange as we share wisdom and experience in trade, agriculture, science, environmental programs, and national security. And of course, as our democracy matures, we look to India as an example of what the people can achieve if we hold fast to our principles and let the people show us the way. Your Excellency, welcome to the People's House, the Fijian Parliament. Thank you.
Thank you. I now invite His Excellency, Prime Minister of India, to address the Parliament.
Excellency Speaker, Dr. Jiko Luweni, Excellency Prime Minister Baini Maraman, members of the Parliament of the Republic of Fiji, Nishan Bola, and Namaste. 2 months ago, Fijians voted in extraordinary numbers to elect this Parliament. 6 months ago, Indians participated in the largest election in the history of this world. Today, I stand here grateful for this special gift, the honor to be among you to speak to this new Parliament in celebration of democracy and to reaffirm our friendship. India is a nation of more than 1 billion. Fiji, a nation of 1 million. We are located in a different oceans, but what unites us today is our democracy. The diversity of the society, our creed that all human beings are equal, and our commitment to the liberty, dignity, and rights of every individual. What also links us today is that we both have women as a speaker of our parliaments. You have done better than us. 1 in every 7 members in this parliament is a woman. In India, it is just 1 in 9. So I hope we can match you the next time, and I hope we can both do better in future. People in Fiji have a different histories, ethnicities, languages, and religions, but they stand together as one nation of Fijians with one voice and one vision and one aspiration. In both nations, we have vested our power in our people. Your constitution begins with, "We the people of Fiji." Indian constitution begins with the same simple words, "We the people of India." And what a constitution you have framed. It is a constitution that not only guarantees freedoms and rights of the citizen, but also to ensure their basic needs and empower them. From the right to life, liberty, dignity, equality, and freedom of religion, to the right to education, information, work, health, food, water, to the rights of children and the disabled. This is a constitution that reflects the will of an enlightened nation. The journey to this milestone and struggles and setbacks, but the roads you have chosen has won you admiration around the world and the support of the people here. Honorable members, Fiji is a shining example of a small nation that can successfully pursue great ambitions, because what makes a nation successful is not its size or its population, but its vision and its values. Today, Fiji is a nation that has used its economic resources well. You have been a strong voice on behalf of the Pacific Islands and a hub of this region. You led the G77 with vision and statesmanship. Your soldiers have served with outstanding professionalism in UN peacekeeping missions in some of the world's most dangerous sports. And you are playing an influential role in shaping the global dialogue on climate change. There are many in India who wish Vijay Singh wore the Indian colors on the golf course. Honorable members, for India, Fiji will always have a special place. The tide of history brought many from India to your shores. It has forced our ties of culture and kinship. But our relationship today stands on a much broader base of our shared values and our common interests as developing countries. And now, together, we were partnering in making history. You graciously hosted Indian scientists in Fiji for tracking our Mars mission, Mangalyaan. It was the only mission in the world to succeed in the first attempt. I convey today the gratitude of the people and the scientists of India. This is simple yet profound act of cooperation reflects the boundless possibilities in our relationship, if we choose to seek them. Our trade and investment ties have been modest. Our relationship in science, education, and culture could be stronger. Yet, there are examples of our partnership that should inspire us. Our cooperation in upgrading our sugar mills, or the public-private partnership in the area of healthcare, as we have collaborated in running hospitals here, we can also extend our cooperation in pharmaceuticals and traditional medicines. As Fiji adjusts to the changing global markets, India is prepared to be your partner in making your existing industry stronger and finding new opportunities for youth. For countries like ours, village, and small and medium-scale industries are the source of enterprise and employment. Today, I am pleased to announce a grant of $5 million to strengthen and modernize Fiji's village, small and medium industries. We will also provide a line of credit of $70 million for a cogeneration power plant at Raro Sugar Mill. Agriculture supports a majority of the population in India and Fiji. Offer our expertise and assistance in increasing productivity in the agriculture sector. As the largest producer of milk in the world, India can help develop your dairy industry, which can also contribute to your exports. In areas like fisheries, textiles and garments, and gems and jewelry, we can expand our trade. In this digital age, every nation can be part of the global information technology industry. And it is a dream that youth around the world share. It is an industry that depends on ideas and skills. It offers a great path to prosperity, and it has a light carbon footprint. We have pleased to set up a Center for Excellence in Information and Technology here in Fiji. We are prepared to work with you to build a digital Fiji and to equip your youth to integrate Fiji into the global IT network. We will also deepen our cooperation in education and training, and we will double the number of our scholarships. Today, I propose that we work together to harness the potential of space technology for governance, economic development, conservation, climate change, and natural disasters. There are times when we think of each other as distant lands, separated by ocean and 7-time zones. But think of the days when travel was difficult. That did not deter brave people from traveling over the seas in search of a new life. Distance, to me, is irrelevant in a world of fiber optic cables and satellite links. We are only as far away as the click of a mouse or the call button of a phone. In any case, a direct flight today can take you from Fiji to most places in India. And I say this more to my people than to you. Fijians have been steady in investing in India. We in India have not paid enough attention to this beautiful land of warm people and immense potential. This must change. We must make travel easier between our two countries. For this reason, I have taken a small step in extending visa on arrival to Fijians in India, as you have done for Indians in Fiji. And if you want to attract more Indians to enjoy the magnificence of your islands and the warmth of your hospitality, you should invite Bollywood to shoot their films in Fiji. Honorable members of Parliament, we have spoken of vast opportunities. We also share many common challenges. For you, climate change is not a matter of debate, but a basic question of existence. India, too, is a nation of a long coastline and more than 1,000 islands, a nation that is nurtured by monsoon rains and the Himalayan glaciers. We too are facing the staggering impact of climate change, and we spend more than 6% of our GDP in adapting to its consequences. Now, each of us must shoulder our own responsibilities. We cannot stand aside and take to action. Technology has made it possible. We do not have to seek old pathways to prosperity. In India, we have a comprehensive national plan and strategy to both mitigate and adapt to climate change. And I have a deep personal commitment to it. And we look forward to working with Fiji and areas such as wind and solar energy. But it is also equally important that the global community accepts its responsibility and implements its commitment. It should not become one in which the strong shift the burden on the others or impose the responsibilities of their excesses on the choices that other makes. It should not be an issue of economic advantage or trade competitiveness of one over the other. The world had agreed on a beautiful balance of collective action, common but differentiated responsibilities that should form the basis of continued action. This also means that the developed countries fulfill their commitments for funding and technology transfer. India has stood shoulder to shoulder with Fiji and the small island developing states in seeking a fair and urgent response from the international community. For a sustainable future, we also have a shared stakes in a peaceful, cooperative and prosperous Asia and Pacific regions. Stretching from the Indian Ocean through continental Asia into Pacific, this is a region of enormous dynamism and opportunities, but also a region with many challenges. Fiji is a leader in the region and a strong voice in the developing world. Together, we can also work for a future in the region in which there is an equal place for all nations and a climate of peace and tranquility. I thank Prime Minister and Fiji for the leadership in hosting my meeting with the Pacific leaders later today. Let us join hands to create an ocean of opportunity that stretches from the Indian Ocean to the Pacific Ocean. Sometimes our relations have been adrift. Let us chart a new course. Let us start a new era. When it does not take another 33 years for an Indian Prime Minister to visit Fiji, when Fijians and Indians work with each other from the comfort of familiarity and the ease that comes with the habit of regular partnership, when we draw strength from the ties of history and the bonds of emotions, seek new purpose in our many shared interests, and seize our new opportunities. Thank you, Vinaka. Thank you. Dhanyavad.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the Prime Minister of India. I now invite the Leader of Government in Parliament to move the vote of thanks.
The Honourable Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi. Madam Speaker, Honorable Prime Minister Suva, the Honorable Members of Parliament, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of all the members of Parliament, I wish to thank you, Honorable Prime Minister Modi, for addressing us today. As our leader, the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra said, this parliamentary body is not new. Not just because democracy was recently restored, but because today's Fijian democracy and the constitution that established it are different from anything that had existed in Fiji before. Democracy is imperfect, of course, but it is only perfectible if it's based on the idea that every person in the nation has value that cannot be diminished because of race, religion, gender, political beliefs, or economic condition. We believe that, and it is clear that you do also. I regret on behalf of my colleagues in Parliament that your visit has become an object to be used in the ongoing political debate in our country. We appreciate your understanding, and we know that you recognize that people in Fiji are testing the new democracy and learning its meaning. Democracy can sometimes be messy, and we may have to endure some hard struggles and learn some hard lessons before we reach equilibrium. But our democracy is permanent and good, and equilibrium is certain. Your remarks here today have helped us understand that. Honorable Prime Minister Modi, this is a historic day. We are seated here before you as representatives of a people that have great hope for the future. Your great nation and your personal story are an inspiration to us. India's example creates great hope and great optimism about what a people can accomplish if they believe in themselves, believe in their neighbor, and focus their attention on the future. Please accept the deepest thanks of this Parliament and all its members for your gracious visit and your generous and inspiring remarks. May you experience all the warmth and generosity of the Fijian people. And may your visit mark the dawn of a new era of deeper friendship and stronger ties between our two nations. Thank you and Dhanavat.